Hey guys, my name is Jack Merridew, and today I am going to be drawing my life. So let's start from the beginning. I was born on January 16th, 1993, and my mom had a C-section, so I didn't even see a vagina then, and I still haven't now. And I actually grew up in a small little suburban neighborhood in the eastern part of Pennsylvania. There's my house. I was always a really gay child, as you know. My favorite color was pink, and I kind of drew myself to look like a lesbian, but I promised I was not a lesbian. I just really liked flowers and princesses, okay? Kill me. Growing up, my two best friends lived right next door to me. One was an older girl named Christine, and the other was a younger boy named Jeff. And for the good part of 10 years, we hung out almost every single day, and there is not a single doubt in my mind that we were the happiest kids in the world. Not a day goes by that I'm not certain of that. So many people wonder why I'm so obsessed with James Dean, but the truth is, ever since I was little, I was fascinated with this thing called the Fame. And me, Christine, and Jeff had our own little band, and we called ourselves the Stars. Yeah, we were idiots. And in our big backyards that seem so much smaller now, we would always fight about who would be the Pink Ranger, and I would always win because, I'm the head bitch in charge here. Fast forward 10 years to high school, and I had these dreams of being prom king and really popular, and it's not that I didn't have friends, it was just nobody really noticed me all that much. And at this point I started to realize that I was, different. It really pushed me to start discovering who I was. I always loved to write stories ever since I was in 3rd grade, and I used to draw my own covers and bring them in and sell them to my classmates for 25 cents. And I remember my first book was called Agent Penguin, and it was 200 pages. And it was in 5th grade, and all my classmates were like, "Oh my god, 200 pages!" And I was like, "Bow down, bitches." So whenever I felt invisible in high school, I just started writing, and those characters, they just feel like your best friends. I'm not even kidding. One of my teachers at the time actually got her hands on one, and she read it and she was like, "This is fantastic, you should enter it in contests." And I was just like, contests. But one day, for some reason, I decided that I was going to give it a shot, and I put a bunch of, submissions into envelopes, and I got my owl ready. I actually ended up placing 54th in the Reuters Digest competition, and in another contest I placed 1st, and I won a bunch of money for a scholarship. And people in my school started reading the stories, and I was finally making a name for myself. And I felt happy again, like I did when we were playing make-believe. But God forbid anyone actually enjoy their time in high school long enough before something ruins it all. I remember there was this boy named Peter, and he was on his way to remedial math when I was in AP English, and he would call me a fag every single time he saw me, and all his friends, they were all just as stupid as him, but they would all laugh, and I would get so embarrassed every single time. And that was the first time ever in my life that I can say that I was called that. And I remember I went into the school bathroom, and I just looked at myself in the mirror. And I remember I went home, and I sat down in my room, and I promised myself that day that nobody was ever going to laugh at me like that again. And after that, I changed the name in all of my writing and stories to J. Merridew, and I don't know why I did it, but for some reason it just made things okay. And about a year later, I had this idea, and you guys are kind of seeing the results of that right now. My friend was a photographer, and he had this studio set up in his basement, and I remember together we designed a few photo shoot ideas, and we went down into his basement one day, and we just took a bunch of pictures, and for the first time in my life, I felt like such a fucking star. And that feeling, it's addicting, let me tell you. I always used to watch YouTube coming out videos when I was struggling with my identity in high school, and it was amazing how these boys, they can, make you fall in love with them, and all you ever see is them through a camera. I'm just fascinated with fame in a digital era. And I know America hasn't been the kindest to the gay community in the past, but I think it's about time that we all get our own little piece of that dream that everyone supposedly promised, And all the future generations, the boys who are just like us, they'll log on to their computer and they'll see us, and they'll get little stars in their eyes too, and they'll see us and they'll know. But for now, I'd like to thank every one of you for making me feel every Friday night like a star.